Sonny Styles is exactly the linebacker the Cowboys need to dominate in 2026, and our post-Super Bowl mock draft proves it.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast, your daily podcast covering your favorite draft prospects, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your boy, Damian Parson. I'm an NFL draft analyst with Bleacher Report. And as always, thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen of the day. And thank you for making the Locked On Podcast Network the number one sports podcast network in America. It's all because of you. Guys, as I promised, bonus episode, part 2 of breaking down the mock draft that we dropped post-Super Bowl on Monday morning over at Bleacher Report. Today, we're getting into picks 11 through 21. For the first, we're going to start the show off with picks 11 through 14, getting to picks 15 through 18, and then 19 through 21. And guys, let's go ahead and get the party started. Right? At pick number 11, the Miami Dolphins select cornerback Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. At pick 12, the Dallas Cowboys get their enforcer, get their playmaker, get the leader of their second level of the defense, linebacker Sonny Styles out of Ohio State. At pick 13, the Los Angeles Rams via the Atlanta Falcons select wide receiver Carnell Tate from Ohio State. At pick number 14, the Baltimore Ravens select defensive lineman Peter Woods from Clemson. And let's go back up. And we're going to get through all these picks. We're going to get through all of it. I want to start with 12. The Dallas Cowboys selecting an elite physical specimen that is Sonny Styles, right? What is it, 6'5", 240, former safety prospect with outstanding speed, outstanding range, sideline to sideline. This is a guy that when he sees it, he gets to the football, and he gets there in a hurry. He can spy athletic quarterback. So you're talking about dealing with the Jackson Dart and his mobility, dealing with a Jalen Hurts and his mobility, and of course, the creme de la creme of running quarterbacks and athleticism and mobility, a healthy Jaden Daniels, a healthy JD5 for the Commanders. A guy like Sonny Styles can help neutralize their rushing ability and their mobility overall, keeping them in the pocket, not allowing them to break contain. But not only that, this is an outstanding run defender at the second level. Again, guys, I promise you, I've said this multiple times here on this pod. My everydayers know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're new here, go ahead and be prepared to become an everydayer, right? And I'll tell you about the Everydayer Club a little bit later. But the point is, you've heard me say that Indiana tape, man, chef's kiss. There's no linebacker, I believe, that had better run defensive game in 2025 in college football than Sonny Styles versus Indiana. Please go check that out. It was outstanding. Block shedding, run game and concept recognition, playing with physicality, meeting running backs in the lane. Yes, I know Mark Fletcher ran him over, ran through his tackle attempt when they played Miami, but that's a blip, not a trend. All right, and he has the frame that if he's 240, can you get him to 248 and not lose some of that? I believe he's going to run 4.4. I believe he's going to hit 4.4, 4.5 and just blow the doors off the combine. This is an outstanding athletic specimen. The Cowboys defense is going to be so much better with him there. Next up, guys, listen. What is that? Back-to-back Buckeyes? Yeah, back-to-back Buckeyes. Pick 13. And I know there was a Rams fan going back and forth when we have a conversation on Twitter, and like he said, hey, we should go get Makai Lemon or wide receiver. And I was like, well, no, you need to get corners because the cornerback room there is not great, right? It's their Achilles heel, truthfully. And he said, but if a top receiver falls to us, why not make the move? I'm like, well, it depends. If a top cornerback falls to you, I'd rather get cornerback 1 than wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3. I'd rather get a Messidor Lane or Jermod McCoy if they're there than adding another receiver. Well, newsflash, neither Jermod McCoy or Messidor Lane made it to 13. So I lobbied, okay? I lobbied to get Carnell Tate to the Los Angeles Rams. And here's why. Because the fact there was not a cornerback, I'm not on the Colton Hood top 20 I'm not in that discussion. I'm not in that range with him. I think there's upside with this young man, but he's young. He was like a redshirt sophomore or something like that. There's a lot that he can learn still. He had a rough week in Mobile in coverage. Yeah, the tools are there. We need some refinement. We need some experience. But when I look at Carnell Tate and adding him, my wide receiver 2, to Puka Nacua, and if they still have Devontae Adams, they don't try to cut him, which I highly doubt. I think Matthew Stafford coming back, you are in it to win it next year before I think he's getting ready to retire. And adding a Carnell Tate will bring a different element. Bring that speed, that explosiveness, the get vertical, take the top off the defense, the jump balls and the contested catches. Yes, Puka makes those, but Puka doesn't have the field stretching ability consistently like a Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate can open up. He's a long strider, kind of like that AJ Green body type. Not as fluid, though. Not as fluid. AJ Green had that wiggle and that elusiveness, man. But he can eat up cushion. That stride to eat up cushion and take and just eat grass, eat up ground, and make you have to make a decision quickly, right? As he's like a gazelle, and he just glides as he picks up speed, and he can run right by guys. He can glide by guys if you are not, quick in your hip swivel or your turns to pivot and get ready to turn into a runner and run with him. So adding him to a Sean McVay offense with Matthew Stafford, I just think that is a big time move that will absolutely solidify them, like that receiver core, right? And they got my guy Kanata Mumfield, so I think he can be a punt returner for you and be a rotational wide receiver and bring all of that as well. Like I just truly, I'm telling you now, guys, this would be you want to talk not even a home run. This is a grand slam of a pick if I've ever seen it. Carnell Tate, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Terrence Ferguson, Kyron Williams, Blake Corum, Matthew Stafford in the second round, third round. I think you double up at corner, honestly, or you go corner and linebacker, because I'm not really a big fan of their linebackers either. That defense was their Achilles heel, and it hurt them a lot. Pick 14, Baltimore Ravens getting defensive lineman Peter Woods. We don't know what's going to happen with Nnamdi Madubuike. He suffered a neck injury and everything, and there's some uncertainty surrounding that. Neck injuries are no joke, and there's nothing to play with, right? So if there's a chance he misses another year while he tries to recover and everything else, that hurts. It hurt them this year. And a guy like Peter Woods can step into that role and bring a similar skill set. Peter Woods is an unfinished product as a pass rusher, but he brings a high floor as a run defender. He's got a quick, explosive first step for a 310-pound grown man, an adult. He gets upfield quickly. He's got powerful hands. He can swat guys away with that kind of club with the long arm over. He can bull rush you. He can soften edges on the interior and get right to the ball. Okay, he can anchor. All of those things. And the Baltimore Ravens need an injection of talent on that defensive line. So I think, when we went through that pick, it's like, this makes so much sense. Jesse Minter coming over as a head coach, former defensive coordinator with Jim Harbaugh, which is crazy. The former defensive coordinator at Michigan and for the Los Angeles Chargers with Jim Harbaugh took over for his brother, John Harbaugh, as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Him coming in, I could see him saying, you know what, let me get that difference maker on the defensive line for sure. And then going back up to the Miami Dolphins to close this out. At number 11, Jermod McCoy, cornerback. They have to get a cornerback that could be a CB1 caliber guy in the room and just continue to improve this defense, right? And this is a team that turned the corner. They brought in Jeff Hafley, and that's another defensive guy, right? Again, I keep saying that there's potential there. Look for them if they can find a way out of or off of Tua Tagovailoa's contract. This is a team that could absolutely be going after a Malik Willis, and if that is the case, you just said, hey, we got ourselves a quarterback that we believe in, that can run our offense and our system that we're familiar with. Now let's use these picks and improve this team and this roster. Jermod McCoy, if he was healthy and played the way he did in 2024, he would have been CB1. He was CB1 for scouts coming into the summer, and that was even with the torn ACL. and people were just wondering, when was he going to be ready? When was he going to be healthy? Hopefully we see him at the combine. He gets the test in 2 weeks from now. But guys, coming up next, we're going to go through picks 15 through 18. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, there's some really good fits in here. Number 16 might be my favorite. If you've ever hired someone who looked good on paper but wasn't the right fit, you know how important that is. When you want candidates who truly match what you're looking for, trust Indeed sponsored jobs. Hiring Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs put your post at the top of the page and help you reach the right candidates, faster and more efficiently. Spend more time interviewing the candidates who check all of your boxes with less stress, less time, and more results using Indeed sponsored jobs. Listeners of this show get a $75 sponsored job credit to help give your job the premium placement it deserves at Indeed.com/LockedOnNFL. Just go to Indeed.com/LockedOnNFL right now and support the show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, do it with Indeed. Breaking down picks 15 through 18 of our post-Super Bowl mock draft over at Bleach Report. That's what we're getting into next, guys. But thanks for being an everydayer with us. If you want the show ad-free, check out the Everydayer Club. You might want to subscribe and be a member. Go to LockedOnNFLDraft.supercast.com. Go check it out right now. Well, after the show. Now, let's start out right now. Number 15. Number 15. I was about to go right to number 16. I'm excited about that pick because this is a pick I think should happen, could happen. I would run the card up. At number 15, though, Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting tight end Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon. At pick 16, my favorite pick of this bunch, the New York Jets via the Indianapolis Colts trade, they get wide receiver Makai Lemon out of USC. I'm starting there when we're finished. At pick 17, the Detroit Lions select edge rusher Akeem Mesidor. And in the words of Pretty Ricky, age ain't nothing but a number, baby. It's nothing but a number, okay? And then at pick 18, the Minnesota Vikings select cornerback Avion Terrell. Let's go right up to 16, baby. I'm telling you right now, and I've said this time and time again, the New York Jets. Hey, Dante Moore going back to school might have been a blessing in disguise. Because now you have the ammunition to rebuild this team and build the core of young players that's going to set the culture and shift things into a winning situation that you can then drop a rookie quarterback into next year. And adding a Makai Lemon, think about this. If this were to happen, you get Ruben Bain Jr. at 2 and Makai Lemon at 16. Two of the toughest pound-for-pound players in the 2026 NFL Draft. Guys that can change the game. Guys that can shift things for you in the blink of an eye. Makai Lemon, outstanding route runner, outstanding ball winner, right? Tough as nails. A guy that can create space and separate. In an ideal slot that you pair with a Garrett Wilson, and you pray to God that Adonai Mitchell becomes your Z/X, that he can play both of those spots. You still have John Mechie, and you think about plopping an Arch Manning if he takes the steps we expect him to take. A Lenore Sellers if he keeps developing, right? Whatever the case may be, a Dante Moore next year. Whoever gets the step into that offense, maybe you bring back Breece Hall. Whatever the case may be, that's an offense that can win, and I mean win now if you do it right. And I think Makai Lemon, if he's there at 16, I think there's a chance he could be there, right? But there's a chance he could end up being the first wide receiver off the board, right? That's just, hey, scouts love him. A lot of analysts love him. I love him. A lot of people love Makai Lemon. I think that he's my wide receiver 3 right now. Final grades and finalized position ratings won't come out or won't happen until the week before or leading into the actual draft. But getting him at 16, guys, I'm telling you right now, this is a type of game-changing pick because he's the type of guy that could be that security blanket, that chain mover, to where he's working the option routes, the OTB routes, the slants, the over routes, the seam routes, corner routes, the double move. You're talking about a corner post corner, whatever, stick nods. He can run so many different routes, and he's such a good salesman that if you give him the one-on-one, if he gets the run, if he gets a free release, a free run on a safety, that's 5 to 7 yards off, a nickel corner that's playing with cushion, and they're flat-footed, they're dead to rights. I'm telling you now, they're dead to rights. And then he's physical. He can make plays after the catch. Just an outstanding player. Outstanding player that get at 16. That would be a great fit for the New York Jets. Let's go up to 15 here. Tate is a solid tight end, but to me, he's more of a tight end 2, tight end 3. Blocker, he doesn't give you much from an athleticism standpoint and creativity. Kenyon Sadiq with Emeka Egbuka, more than likely, I think they're probably going to try to find a way to bring back Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, Tez Johnson, Bucky Irving. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Baker Mayfield will be a happy guy if this is the pick. Yes, you need to get a linebacker. That's for 100% for certain. But being able to get a Kenyon Sadiq at 6'3", 6'4", 245 or whatever, vertical speed up the seam, outstanding run blocker. He's got to get better after the catch. I actually want to see him, whatever weight program he has, upper body, I want to see him put that into his lower body, because I want to see him get stronger to where when guys are trying to shoestring tackle you, or they want to get that arm tackle, get to hit that thigh pad and try to trip you up. Like when guys hit his legs like in that thigh, that quad region, he sometimes he falls, right? And you want to see him just be stronger through that contact in itself. But I think this would be a really good fit, because again, he's going to help in the run game as a blocker, but then off the play action, which Baker Mayfield can absolutely dice you up off of, and he's got the arm power and pacing and strength to drive the ball on those seam routes. I think Kenyon Sadiq could be a seam merchant and demon in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Now, let's go to pick 18. I want to finish off with 17. Pick 18, Avion Terrell. Guy that creates turnovers. 9 fumbles forced in his career. This is a guy that's got quick feet. He's smooth, got really smooth hips. The ability to, how to put this? The ability to turn, pivot, swivel, get in the hip pocket, zone turn. Like he could click and close, all of that. And he's been doing this since he's been a freshman at Clemson, right? So, and he gives you that inside out versatility, because he can also play nickel, and he's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid to go up against big athletic receivers or small shifty receivers. He's always up for the task. And with Brian Flores back, I think this is a pick that fits him entirely, because also this is a guy you can blitz. Now, I remember talking to a scout, and I asked him what was his comp for him. This is back in the summer for Avion. And he said Jair Alexander was his comp. And I said, okay, I can see that. I can see that wholeheartedly. I can see that. So yeah, great fit and great pick for the Vikings. And then number 17, again, it ain't nothing but a number. That AGE, that word age ain't nothing but a number. Pretty Ricky said it, and I believe it, guys. So listen to me. All right. First of all, I had no business listening to Pretty Ricky at the age I was at the time. But that's Locked On NFL Draft After Dark. That's a different situation there. But if you know, you know. Okay. If you know, you know. All right. They shaped our youth for some people more ways than one. Number 17, we get Akeem Mesidor. Right, we get Akeem Mesidor, edge rusher, the other edge rusher from Miami. And guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is one of those picks and one of those situations that, in my honest opinion, I think should happen. The Detroit Lions, and everybody, if you've been an everydayer, like I've been saying for the longest, is that stop putting your pass rush eggs in the Aiden Hutchinson basket. I said it when the year he got hurt. I said you need to go into the next draft cycle or free agency and get someone to help that situation. Because here's the thing. The Lions consistently, we are always like, hey, man, they need to add another corner. They need to add another DB. They need to get better in the back end. No, get better on the front end. They selected Tyleik Williams last year. Now, by all means, listen, revisionist history. What's the phrase? Hindsight's 20/20, right? Like the James Pierce Jr. thing, it worked out in season. And then he made stupid decisions and just bonehead, idiotic decisions, right? Off the field. So we don't even know if he's going to play football ever again. So, but nonetheless, like the Detroit Lions being able to get Akeem Mesidor, that's hitting the ball out the park to me, man. Like, this isn't a single, this isn't a double, this is a home run. This is a great pick. This is one of the most natural pass rushers in this draft. Hand usage, attacking angles and leverage, setting guys up, good feet, great hands, great tempo, and pacing as a rusher. Because if you work too fast as a rusher and you're constantly just fast, quick, everything, right? There's no tempo to it. There's no keeping the guy off schedule. There's no putting the guy on his heels, right? Keeping them off balance, keeping them guessing. Yeah, they're going to figure you out. It was like, hey, he's just fast. And he plays fast. That's it. So how many times we've watched an edge rusher who's been killing with speed around the corner all game long. And then he hits him with speed. That he gets to tackle the overset. Boom, double hand swipe, crossface, sack in the game, right? Or, getting his offense the ball back, strip sack, fumble, whatever. Akeem Mesidor can do all of that. He is just a nuanced, detailed, and highly skilled, and I mean highly skilled pass rusher. Yes, he's 25 years old. Yes, I get it and I understand it. But you know what that means to me? If he's in his prime right now, I want to draft him and I want to go ahead and reap the benefits of that. Right? And you can say, well, wait till round 2. I'm not waiting. The Detroit Lions need help right now. They are in a position that they can win right now. We just watched the Seahawks be able to get to you with 4. We watched the Philadelphia Eagles last year get to the quarterback, Pat Mahomes, with 4. They made Pat Mahomes look human. How many defenses have been able to do that? What does everybody say? Don't blitz him. But teams typically can't get to him with 4, so they blitz him anyway. And then he slice, dice, and then he cooks you. Well, he wasn't able to cook Philly. They got to him, right? Drake May couldn't cook. He could not cook the Seahawks defense. They got to him too much. So yes, Detroit Lions, Akeem Mesidor, love the pick, love the fit. But let's get ready to close the show out. Pick 19 through 21. We're going to break those picks down, and the Carolina Panthers got themselves a pretty good edge rusher. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. The winter games are officially here. And if you're anything like us, you're locking in for events you only get to see on the biggest stage every 4 years. And that's why following the winter games on FanDuel, it just makes sense. From medal counts to individual events to finding your angle on the sports you care about most, FanDuel gives you more ways to stay connected to the action. The drama of curling matches that start slow and somehow get intense fast, speed skating, races decided by inches, hockey games that feel different right from the opening face-off. Even niche events become must-watch when you're fully locked in to the competition. The winter games are on, and there's no better way to follow them than with FanDuel. FanDuel, play your game. Thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our everydayers. Breaking down picks 19 through 21 of the closeout part 2 of our mock draft review post Super Bowl edition over at Bleacher Report. At pick 19, the Carolina Panthers select an edge rusher out of Clemson. Fun fact, I don't think they've ever selected a player from Clemson. Right in their backyard. Got to be smarter. Get TJ Parker. Okay, that's what they get, edge rusher TJ Parker from Clemson to add to that defense that took a big step forward in 2025. At number 20, the Dallas Cowboys, the Micah Parsons trade pick or draft pick from the trade with the Green Bay Packers. They select an edge, Cassius Howell, Texas A&M, and at pick 21, back-to-back Aggies, the Pittsburgh Steelers find a complimentary wide receiver to pair with DK Metcalf and a guy that could potentially line up as their wide receiver one of the future, KC Concepcion out of Texas A&M. But let's go up to 19. The Carolina Panthers defense got better this year, right? They took a big step forward where they were historically bad in 2024 in terms of scoring. Over 500 points allowed. This is a defense that played really good ball for the most part. That secondary got some ball hawks in it. Mike Jackson, J.C. Horn, the safeties, like they could play, right? Second level, They got to address that and get some more talent there. Defensive line needs an interior pass rusher. Derek Brown is more of a run stuffer, two-gapper, space eater type of guy who can slow cook with the power that he has, but they need some juice from the interior as a pass rusher. But they needed somebody bad going into this offseason, opposite of Nick Scouton. Nick Scouton played very well. Love what I saw from him. The arrow's trending up. Princely Umanmielen out of Ole Miss, DPR, special teamer. I don't think he's going to be able to play physically and handle the run game. So I think he's going to be more of a DPR type of guy, which is fine. With his skill set, his athleticism, and his ability to win, hey, keeping his legs fresh, bringing him in on third and fourth downs in late in games, offensive tackles hate guys like that. So that's just another ace in the hole in that situation. But TJ Parker lining up on this defense, number one, he brings a safe floor as a run defender, a high floor, because he's going to set hard edges or soften the edge himself, set a hard edge for a running back to not be able to take advantage of. He's going to use his hands well. He's going to anchor it versus the run. He is physical. He is powerful. And that's why I really like this fit, because while I think Nick Scouton, who, I mean, especially when he got the all blacks on, like he just kind of, I don't know what, what it reminded me of? Nick Scouton. He played well, but every time they wore those all black unis, it reminded me of Spider-Man when the Venom got a hold of him. He was different. It was just a different guy to me in that black jersey. I don't know what it was, but he turned into Venom at times, and he just played with a different level of physicality, grit, temperament, nastiness, all of it. He was just a different dude. So pairing with him and his speed and the spin move and the finesse as a pass rusher, then bringing a guy like TJ Parker who can long arm tackles into the quarterback. Now you can collapse both edges, and if they can get some pressure from the interior, hey, you can leave. Like Bryce Young could be you can allow Bryce Young to just continue to be the game manager that he is, right? He doesn't have to win games for you, because your defense would absolutely take that step forward, and I love that fit. I just think that's a great fit. Draft somebody from Clemson and draft TJ Parker, Dan Morgan. Cassius Howell to the Dallas Cowboys. I like this pick. Guys, we're going to break down Cassius Howell and everything on tomorrow's pod and whatnot. We will, Friday. I'm sorry, Friday. We're breaking down Cassius Howell. Tomorrow, I think we're doing David Bailey and everything. But getting Cassius Howell brings that speed, that explosiveness, that fastball, best ghost punch in this class in terms of the ghost punch, that feint punch into the dip and bend, great ankle flexion, great hip flexibility. He can dip, bend, and just I'm telling you, plant and drive right after he turns that corner. And he's not going to measure. We got to see what he measures in terms of arm length and wingspan. It's not great. That's you can see that on film. But his ability to get after the quarterback, and I think early on he probably comes in as a DPR. But this team they got better defensively in terms of having the D tackles with Kenny Clark and then Quentin Williams. I love that pairing, right? But you need to get after the quarterback. We talked about it. Was it Donovan Ezeroku last year out of Boston College? I think me and Keith talked about he was one of the more natural pass rushers. Well, arguably the most natural pass rusher, or in terms of athleticism especially, is Cassius Howell in this class. This is a dude he specializes in getting to the quarterback. They need a guy like Cassius Howell. Is it too high? Some might say that. It depends on where he measures in, because if he comes in with like 31-inch arms, wow. Yeah, no. But we'll see. The combine's not too far away. And then let's close this thing out. Pick 21, man. Love this fit. Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy's the new head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're already talking about Aaron Rodgers returning, potentially. I think he would absolutely love KC Concepcion. And if they listen to him and how he could use him, remember his days with Randall Cobb, okay? And how they move Randall Cobb along all over the formation, created advantageous matchups. They can do the exact same stuff with KC Concepcion. For anybody who don't know who KC Concepcion is, I'm giving you 2 homework assignments. Go watch him, number one. But start with some of the, if you want to watch the highlights, whatever. Go watch the stuff from North Carolina State with the Wolfpack and watch how he was used there. And then watch how he was utilized and how different of a player he was with the Aggies. This dude can take the top off the defense. He's explosive. He's dynamic. He's twitchy. just a smooth mover, sudden mover, can win in one-on-one man-to-man coverage situations, can find the soft spots in zones, right? He's got some concentration drops, got to clean that up, can win with his routes. This is an outstanding fit alongside a DK Metcalf. Roman Wilson could be your wide receiver 3. You got the tight ends. You can run the football. Hopefully, stock will be up going into another year with Caleb Johnson, but now the new head coach. We'll see how they utilize him and Mike McCarthy. But nonetheless, the Pittsburgh Steelers offense would absolutely be better, be more potent, and then you have a receiver that can be a volume guy, change the pace of the offense, be the security blanket, make the first downs, move the chains, all of that. He can do every bit of that, guys. Give you some of the Antoine Randall L type stuff. He's an outstanding punt returner. KC Concepcion is special when the football is in his hands. He's a threat to score at any and every time. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, this would be an outstanding draft pick. But guys, that's picks 11 through 21 of our mock draft special, breaking down the post-Super Bowl mock draft over that we did for Bleacher Report. Guys, I believe it's either Thursday or Friday. I will drop the part 3, episode 3 of it. Bonus episodes. You got 2 bonus episodes this week, guys. So that will probably be dropping either Thursday or tomorrow or Friday. We'll see what my schedule looks like to get that recorded. We'll break down picks 22 through 32 post-Super Bowl mock draft. But as always, guys, go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, to get the latest episode as soon as it is available. We also will be breaking down David Bailey's film and giving you the draft report on him on tomorrow's show. So come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.